So it started on Thursday night. We decided we were going to drive because it would save us a lot of money instead of flying. It was kind of funny, and I'm going to show you guys this clip, but the first person I met was actually Hex. I walked in, I had seen Enable, I saw BL Fire. I think that's the only people I actually saw. I didn't say anything to them. For those of you that have not been to a LAN, even if you're a recognizable face, like I didn't know I was a recognizable face, but even though you're a recognizable face, you kind of feel weird like approaching the pros when you first see them. You know, it was kind of weird, and so I let Enable just walk by me. And he knows who I am, I know who he is, but I let him just kind of walk by me the first time. It's a funny story about me and Enable, actually. And then I go inside and I see Hitch. And I'm going to show you guys this clip. This is me. Me and my wife saw Hitch, and I told my wife, I said, there's Hitch right there.
We have a world-famous person in front of us.
And I told her that, and I said, I'm gonna video Hitch and see how long it takes him. But while I was videoing him, lo and behold, I didn't know Hex saw me. And so Hector runs up in the camera.
Davis, Edward.
And what you guys are seeing is him walking up to me, but I didn't even notice because I was just paying attention to Hitch. And he walks up and gives me a hug, and you hear me kind of giggle when I see him because he just walks up and gives me a hug, and I didn't even know he was coming. And so
we have a world-famous person in front of us. Davis, Edwards.
I'm waiting for Hitch. Hex was the first person I met, and he gave me this shirt. He gave my wife a green wall shirt as well, and then he took me to the pro lounge, and that was how I started UMG Cali. So I walked in, I saw all the pros, and again, I was kind of nervous, so I didn't go talk to any of them. I did talk to Merc. He was the first pro player that I talked to. You know, Merc's been on my show numerous times. I knew that, you know, it was like, I didn't want to bother anybody, I guess, was the first feeling I had. I didn't realize that pro players are, you know, normal people just like me. And I know there's a couple of you guys that, like, tweet-wise, you said you didn't want to bother me or you were nervous, so you didn't come talk to me. But I guess I did the same thing with the pros at the beginning. Now, I did not buy VIP passes. But we went to main stage. We sat down, we started watching. It was FaZe versus Elevate. Really good match. That was where I knew FaZe was going to be in the finals. And I actually said that to Hitch and Fox that day. I saw Fox casting. I took some pictures of him, started tweeting. And then from there, I just started meeting people. Like, Sensor actually walked up to me while I was standing by the G Fuel station. Sensor walked up to me and introduced himself, and I told I introduced my wife, and he said, hi, I'm Doug. And I said, you got to say your full name. And he was like, Doug Sensor Martin. Doug Sensor Martin introduced himself to me and my wife. And actually, we talked for a minute. And this is where I kind of changed the way I treated this event, because Sensor, who I follow him, but I didn't know he paid attention to my content. He actually knew what was going on with me. Like, he told me, Sensor was like, you know, he's like, so what's going on with you? You know, I mean, it sounds like you got a big raise and you have a better job that takes more time, and so you don't have a lot of time left for this. And I was like, I'm thinking in my head, like, how does Sensor know this? Like, does he actually watch my content? The only way anybody would know I got a big raise is if they watch my I got a big raise video. And so I talked to him for a minute, and then I talked to the Gamma guys. I talked to Foreplay, or Skylar, and Nick. And then from there, I just started meeting people. It was really cool, actually. Enable walked by me 2 more times. We walked by each other and just kind of went like this, like what's up? And then finally, he was walking by to go to a match, and he stuck his hand out to dap me up. That was the first, well, Sensor came and talked to me, I think because he knew I was with Gamma and he was at the table. Enable, it was kind of like we finally fist bumped, and then I told him, I said, finally we said what's up to each other. And he was like, well, yeah, you know. I met Sharp, I saw him, and I said, Brandon. And he did a double take because he didn't recognize me, and I think it's probably because of this hair on my face, but something my wife asked me she was like, do you think you could grow a beard? I was like, I'll try. So I'm trying to grow a beard. And so I talked to Brandon for a minute. I talked to Apathy. I didn't get a picture with Apathy, didn't get a picture with Brandon, didn't get a picture with Hex, but I was with him for a minute. You know, he was giving me a tour. He gave me a tour of the open bracket area and kind of everything they had there. Took me to the Pro Lounge, even though I wasn't really allowed in the Pro Lounge. But, you know, Hector, he just walks up to the dude that's watching the Pro Lounge from UMG and says, I'm taking Kingdom into the Pro Lounge. That was it. So Wifey and I got to go in the Pro Lounge for a minute and see all the pros. Scump and all those guys were sitting back there. I met Big Snacks and Fox. I knew I was going to meet Fox, you know, I was tweeting at him, but I hung out and actually got to talk to Fox for a minute. We sat down and watched we watched first map of, I don't remember who was playing, but we watched first map. I don't remember who we were watching. But we watched first map of one of the matches together, me and Fox. We got to talk, you know, and I actually got to talk to him a lot while I was there. So we talked about the event, talked about, you know, how his casting is going and all that kind of stuff. I met Puckett, didn't take a picture with him. I met Mr. X, I did get a picture with him. I met Benson, didn't take a picture with him. There was a few awkward moments, like awkward moment number one. And so I'm talking to Fox and Fox, Hitch, and who's the third person? Fox, Hitch, and Hazard. And it was funny because at lunch, me and my wife went to lunch with Hitch, and we were talking about Kenzie. We were talking about Kenzie at lunch, and I was like, I didn't know she was here, and he was like, yeah, she's here. And she popped her head up, like, I mean, it was like this. It was like, here, let me do it like this. And it was like this, and then she like popped her head up and back down, but it was kind of like, I'm not gonna duck and pop my head up, but so that was an awkward moment because she literally popped her head up, and then I looked at her and I kind of jumped back like I was scared because she was right next to me. And then she giggled and then just went away. And that was it. Awkward moment number two, when Keemstar walked up and said hello to me. You know, I don't have any beef with Keemstar, but a lot of people at the event, you know, it's kind of like Keemstar's a cool guy when it comes to, like, he keeps the crowd excited and keeps them going and making noise, but we all know his relationship with UMG Chris and all that kind of stuff that went down, and so it's kind of funny because it's almost like there's a lot of people that don't want him there, but you know, everybody just accepts the fact that he comes to all the events. And I was signing there was a kid that I think Hitch was doing a video about him or something, and there was this kid that came up and asked me to sign his, he had an Optic Gaming hoodie, and he wanted me to sign the back of it. So I grabbed a Sharpie and I went to sign it, and somebody that was with Keem was like, who the heck is that? And Keem was like, you don't know who that is? That's Kingdom Soldier. And then Keem came up and said hello to me. That was kind of awkward, you know. I spent most of my time there with Hitch, to be honest. Like, I spent a lot of time with Hitch. We talked a lot. He went with my wife and I to Marie Callender's, and we got something to eat. We got to talk some more about, you know, his future plans and future plans of the sticks and stuff like that, and gaming in general. We talked about, you know, big level stuff and stuff like that. And then I hung out with him on the inside as well. I hung out with Hitch a lot on the inside. I got to talk to UMG Chris. The coolest meeting I had, to be honest, the coolest person I met, I would say, was Krim. And the reason is that I saw Krim, but just like all the other pros I talked about, especially the Optic guys, like I didn't even talk to Imbos, you know, like that was ridiculous. Like, why wouldn't I talk to Marcus? I didn't talk to Imbos, I didn't talk to Killa, I didn't talk to Mir, I didn't talk to Ricky. I mean, there were so many pros that I could have talked to that I didn't. And I mean, I was only there one day, but meeting Krim was really cool because I was standing there and Mr. X and Krim were walking past me and Hitch and UMG Chris. And we were having a conversation about some stuff, and I saw them walking past, and I just said something about Mr. X's shirt. Like, you know, I don't remember his, he had like his shirt on with his glasses, and I was like, that's a dope shirt, Matt. And Krim actually came over to us and stuck his fist out to say what's up to me. And I remember after he did that and we fist bumped and he kept walking, he said, "What's up, man? How you doing?" And he kept walking. And I said, "Good. It's good to see you, bro." Hitch, once he was away, was like, he never does that. He was like, I've rarely seen Krim actually go to someone and say what's up to them. And so I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm getting a picture with him. Because one of the things that I told Hitch I needed to remember was that I needed to act like a fan in some ways and go up to these pros and not be so stupidly nervous and think I'm gonna bother them and act like, you know, oh, we're on the same level. We all make content, you know. I don't need to pay them any time. Like, I wanted to talk to them. And so I went up to Krim, asked him to take a picture with me. He was like, yeah, of course. And then we chatted for a second. He asked me if I was coming back. I said no. He was like, aw. And, you know, I said, but you guys got the W anyway. That was kind of, and he told me, Krim told me, he was like, I saw you earlier, but I wasn't sure it was you. And what that lets me know is that, you know, these pros, that some of them may have seen me and wanted to talk to me, but, you know, they were with other people, they were doing a whole bunch of stuff, and I just missed the opportunity, you know. So I do want to go to another land, and my wife was like, you're going by yourself next time. Hitch, the hater, was, you know, in front of my wife. He's like, this is probably one of the worst things to bring a wife or girlfriend to. And my wife was like, she agreed with it. So I had a lot of fun. I mean, to be honest with you guys, like, I had a lot of fun. I like that the venue is small. You can see everybody. I wish I would have met more people. I wish I would have spent more time with some of these dudes. I wish I would have got more pictures, video. I can just imagine myself going to another one of these and making a lot of content, like really recording conversations and stuff like that, and really making more content out of it. But I did have a lot of fun. I mean, UMG Cali was, it kind of reinvigorated my love for the sport, you know, for competitive Call of Duty. I really liked it. And I will admit, you know, one guy asked me, but I will admit it was cool being recognized. You know, some people tweeted at me that they didn't talk to me because they were nervous, but it was cool being, I mean, people would call my name and Kingdom, you know what, you know, and they wanted to meet me, and then whenever somebody wanted to take a picture with me, I took a picture with them and then tweeted that it was nice to meet them, you know. So that was cool. I followed a couple of the guys that recognized me. One guy actually had me and Hitch sign his speaker, his Astro tags. I was shocked. I was the first person to sign his Astros. And then he told me, he said, I saw your vlog that you were gonna be here. And he was like, I've been looking for you. I looked for you all day yesterday. And then when I saw you today, I was like, oh, I gotta get Kingdom to sign my speaker tags. So that was really cool, man. I mean, to be honest, I really enjoyed myself at LAN, to be honest with you guys. And I think I could have had a lot more fun. You know, I didn't get that much time to spend time with the guys that I know and that I've talked to and that have been on my show. You know, like, I got to talk to Apathy for like 2 minutes. I talked to his wife or fiance more than I talked to him. It was cool getting to talk to Merc, though, and all the other pros I got to talk to. And the funny thing was, it was like, a lot of the pros saw me, like Hook. I didn't even talk to that dude. I mean, a lot of the pros saw me, and we kind of like made eye contact, like recognized each other, all that. But it was really up to me to make the effort to go say what's up to them, and I didn't, you know. And so I do regret that, but I don't regret going. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun. If you ever have a chance to go to a LAN, it's worth it. I will probably not be at X Games unless somebody flies me out there. But, you know, I did get a raise at work, so I can afford to go to more trips, and I probably, I'm not going to go to the next UMG either. I know where it's at, but I'll let them announce that. But I will maybe go to the next MLG event that's outside of X Games. I mean, I may go to that. I want to go to an MLG. I didn't get to spend a lot of time talking to Puckett. I didn't even talk to Maven, and he was there. You know, I guess I just didn't feel like rushing people. You know, I don't know. It was a mistake. I should have done better. But overall, I had a great time. me and my wife had a good time on Friday night. I'm happy we actually didn't go to the venue because we had a really good time. So this is your boy Kingdom Soldier. If you guys got any questions, you know, maybe I'll do a Q&A about Cali, about going to a LAN and things like that. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.